Hi guys, today I'm here to do a little chit chat about my Ryuzos. So this is Tones, who is my milk tea rose Ryuzo, and this is Pepper, who is my mocha skin Ryuzo. So Pepper here has his face up done by Pebble, who is a Korean artist with Switch. So this is a Switch special face up, limited face up, I guess. And Tones here has a face up done by me. And I thought I'll just talk a little bit about some of my thoughts while doing Tones face up, and also just basically just have a chit chat the way that I would with a friend at a door meet when we're staring at outdoors. So I hope you enjoy this video, and let's go. I think I'll start by taking off their wigs so you can see their face ups better. Okay, so I'm doing a close-up of Tones first so you can see his face up. So I think if you notice, I did his lips without much lip lines, but you can see some texture, like vertical difference in what am I saying? Like there's some difference in the lip color. That's because of the gloss. I glossed him in a vertical fashion, and actually that is because of how his brother. Yeah, that's because of how his brother's face up is. So you can see that Pebble's face up, which is really gorgeous by the way, and also one of the reasons why I like this mocha Ryuzo a lot is because of Pebble's face up. So Pebble's face up was partly a reference point for how I did Tones, and also just for me to see how things are done. I suppose this is as close as this lens will let me get. So you can see that actually his lips does have some lip lines, and there is quite a strong what's that? This dark line between the top and the bottom lip, and then in between there are quite a bit of lip lines. And I don't usually like lip lines on my dolls. I prefer having like kind of a flat color on their lips. So I didn't really do lip lines when I did Tones' face up, but I did do the vertical gloss, so you can see that here. And you can also see that his the line between his lips is not as thick. That's just my usual style and how I prefer to have it done. So I think the biggest difference between Tones and Pepper's face ups are the eyes. So I think you can't have them both in focus at the same time, but let's try. And unfortunately they can't stand any closer than this because their shoulders are too wide, which is such a funny problem. Okay, I think this is about as close and as focused as I can get both of them to be at the same time. Okay, so let me just... If you look at Pepper, you can see his eyeshadow has quite a lot of lines. His eye area has quite a lot of lines, And that's just, you know, also together with the spidery kind of eyelashes, both the attached ones and the drawn ones, he has a bit more of a, I guess, a pretty boy look, or like a bit more like a K-pop idolish look, which is really nice, but I wanted Tones to have a bit more of a boyish vibe. And so you can see that Tones doesn't have much, he doesn't have much going on his eyelids actually. It's really just, there isn't even really eyeliner, it's done with pastels. And then his eyebrows are a lot thicker and bushier. And his lower eyelashes are actually done very, very sparsely. So if you look at his overall look, it's a lot more not focus on lines, I guess. That's what I would say. I was gonna say sparse, but it sounds like a really sad word. So I think the word I'm looking for is probably that he is a lot more focused on just like the overall colours and less on the lines. Whereas if you see Pepper, his face up is very, very rich in details and there are a lot of lines. And unfortunately my lens can't zoom in further and my other camera lens is not so great. I mean, it's able to zoom, but the light is not so great. So this is about as close as I can show you. Fun fact, when I meet up with my friends and when we look at dolls' face-ups, we actually go super, super close. Like our faces would be like, okay, maybe not here, but like, you know, we'll be like looking, staring at them because we are trying to figure out how this really, really good face-ups are done and trying to learn from them. So it's a bit weird trying to replicate it on video. You're not really seeing what I'm seeing and I can't bring you closer to it, but I think, well, we'll see how much we can do on video, I guess. So for Tones, he has a much plainer face up, and mostly what I did was I played with the gloss instead. You can see even on his eyelid rim, lower eyelid rim, the gloss is not like a straight line. There is a bit of a like dotted like you can see here, there's a bit of a like dotted edge to it. So I did do his gloss like just one line first, and then afterwards I went back in to give individual dots of gloss above the eyelash. So, not eyelash, eyelid rim. So I was trying to give him details using gloss instead of like using lines because I really wanted this face up to be less, like more masculine in general. And I'm not saying that you can't do that with lines, but I just prefer doing it with pastels. I kind of just prefer pastel works, honestly. That's maybe a bias that I have. I don't really like doing lines as much. Lines are kind of stressful, to be honest. So yeah, there is a bit of a, I don't know, is this a good shot? The thing with their face ups is that initially actually I was really, I don't know, I wasn't feeling very great about Tone's face up for a while. I just felt like, you know, he was a bit plain compared to my other dolls, and especially compared to his twin, who has a super detailed and like, you know, filled with a lot of tiny little gestures here and there on the face up, whereas Tones has a bit more of a, just like a plain, simple looking face up, although that's not really a fair thing to say, because I think I did a pretty tried putting in details in different things, I guess, like gloss and the pastel work itself, like how his skin tone is done, like with the blues and the blushing. But I think I was just feeling a bit FOMO, a bit like I didn't do as much work as I could. I didn't spam as many details as I could in his face up, and I just felt like, you know, oh, that doesn't make it as good. But I let it sit for a while, and I think now looking at Tone's face up versus Pepper's, I think they are really just, you know, different kind of vibes. They are really just trying to show a different type of doll. So, wow, Pepper's one is really just more elaborate, maybe just more fancy, dressed up, and really detailed. I think Tone's face up doesn't necessarily lose out in terms of it being detailed. It's just not obvious in terms of lines, I guess. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say today for the face up. It's kind of a short video, and I'm not sure how it will turn out, but I hope it will feel like a chat. Maybe we're meeting at a doll meet and we're staring at my dolls and I'm telling you this. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.